even if you are my safe space, there's no expectation from me onto you to solve the issue that I'm bringing to my safe space. Like, you do not have to be my solution. You can be my processing space. You can be the place where I don't have to think about it at all, but it still exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you wanting to solve it for me. I appreciate you wanting to solve it for me. And I appreciate you cultivating a safe space for me. But the safe space is not the place where you are required to solve my issue.
He's done miracles. Back again. He's done miracles on me.
It's just disrespect. No, you can say something. It's just we're there for you. So to not be honest in that moment is just, it's frustrating, especially when the whole purpose is to help you grow and you're like, nah, it was great. Oh.
Let me ask you fellas, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most violated, 1 being least violated, where does lying to you rank on the scale of respect? Or a scale of disrespect?
Oh, nah.
I would say that's definitely high.
That's
up
up
there
with
with
me.
That's like a 9.985.
You do it. Like outside of getting spit on the face and getting punched. That's about it, right? Like, there's less than you putting your hands on me.
Yeah.
Being lied to is top tier.
For myself, though, what I've had to learn to process is that there's sometimes where what I've encountered, speaking for myself, is that if I ask you something and I know you're lying, this is where we talk about that walk with Christ. I've learned grace to be like, all right, you may not be ready to talk about it now, but I'm going to listen to my intuition because I'll ask you all the time. And I think I always do it, well, that's a lot. I'm like, yo, what's going on? You feeling all right? She's like, nah, I'm good. To me, my mind registers, you're lying to me.
Every man,
Every man, right now.
But what I have to do
You look me in my face and you were lying.
and just lie to me. But then what I had to realize was allow her to feel what she's feeling because her emotions could be completely elsewhere.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
And then what would happen was, well, see, what I was feeling, man. What I was going through. And now you're telling me, and I go, when you lied to me, my meter was like, yeah. But then I got to bring it back and go, lying, bro. But out of respect, because I choose you to be in my life, I go, Grace says, come back and revisit it and let's see how she's feeling later. Because the emotional roller coaster of femininity doesn't make sense. Logically, I go, you could have just said, yeah, I'm not good right now, I'll talk to you later. Because that's what a logical response would be. That's honest. Because if you come to me and you're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, yo, I'm not there yet.
I'm not
good.
I'm not good right now. But what I find is that also in the perspective of it is that women will be like, well, why can't we talk about it right now? Are we here?
Where are we at?
Because I'm weird.
Really?
Like, yo. Really? But and again, it's like, yo, that grace, like, where did God give me grace?
See
that I didn't deserve it. Yeah. That if I choose you in my life, I'm gonna give you grace because right now I don't feel like it's deserving. But I choose you.
Right.
So I'm gonna operate with grace.
That's right.
And I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. And I think that
No, please.
No, please.
I think that goes back to turning into, is your relationship a safe space? Is it a safe space to say, I am pissed, but I don't want to talk about it right now, and then you trust that person to come back to you and talk about it later? Is there enough trust where you can say, I don't want to deal with you right now? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, all right, and then when you come back, it's not this animosity of you were mad for 5 hours, so now I don't want to talk to you or whatever. Right?
So I'm rereading the book, The Way of the Superior Man. And he talks about, he's fire. I'm hearing it different every time. But he talks about,
I'm
We just had-
We talk about this book every.
Oh,
every
I
month.
love this book.
That was so interesting.
Yeah.
We acknowledge each other and it was done.
Where's the respect?
Yo,
Whoa.
I took my hands off the steering wheel. No,
But in the way
I'm
we
not
took
sure.
care of
I just looked down, I had the same before.
So in the way the superior man, he talks about sometimes when your woman is in her feelings, like she just wants you to love on her, hold space for her, know her, right? But for me, it'd be like what I've again experienced. I'm only speaking from my own experience. Is that sometimes when I'm dealing with a woman and I'm like, no, I'm gonna love on you, like I'm gonna kind of be playful to kind of break you of this mood. So you're laughing and you're like, okay, well we can talk about it a little later. Cool. Like the temperature in this relationship in this moment has calmed down. But if I tell you I'm not in that space, and she'd be like, well, when I'm mad, you keep like messing with me, Like, well, yeah, but I'm not you. So when I go, hey baby, I'm gonna talk to you in a second, like leave it. Because I'm gonna talk to you in a second. Let me gather myself. Right. Just because that's what you need and you're willing to like diffuse, allow me to diffuse how I diffuse. Right? Like it's not tit for tat. Like, well, you keep messing with me when I'm upset. Yeah, but I'm not playing with you.
But that's the communication factor too. It's like I'm communicating to you what I need when I'm possibly at my worst. I need you to give me the space to process my worst, so that when I come to you, I don't want to bring you. Like as a man, I never want to bring you my worst. I'd like to have handled my worst, and I bring you like, okay, now I'm at a place where we can talk about this. But as a man, I want to get the worst over with, away from you, because I never want to fail in front of you. And it's not that I don't feel safe. It's just something innately in me that wants to show you a winner. You know what I'm saying? I love that I can fail in front of you, but that doesn't mean I want to. I'm eager to do it. You know what I'm saying? So once I've gotten through the gunk of it, of the bottom of it, you know what I'm saying? Now, okay, we can have a conversation from this level up. But this part, I need to process on my own. It's got nothing to do with what you are or aren't good at, whether I'm safe here or not. This portion is reserved for me to process. Because honestly, you can't help me navigate it anyway. When I'm here, there's nothing you can say to me to bring me out of it. You can be like, baby, I believe in you. Yeah, go on with all that trash for you. I'm gonna throw something at you. I'm telling you, I need a minute.
That is so hard.
This pillow is gonna become so fast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
In that position, so you talk to him.
exactly.
I can talk to him, pray, everything.
And most of the time, that's where we are. Most of the time, that's where we are. We're like, Lord, I don't even know myself. Like I need.
There's no cheerleading we can give you right now, but something.
And I'm so appreciative of it. I appreciate the heart that you want to, but give me that space, give me that bottom level, and let me and God work through that. And then we talk.
Let me start climbing this ladder, and then I'm gonna come back.
Correct.
And we climb it together. Like this is what I came out of.
Yeah.
But something you said though, there's something really important that I'm learning. I got this, but it's so powerful to know that there's still going to be times where the safe space in your relationship is going to be vital. Because it's safe today.
That's solid.
Something is going to happen that may not make it feel as safe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you go, we know what our foundation is.
Yep.
Right? Like our foundation is solid.
Yep.
Now we get to add a new component. Right? Like, so I just think that's really important.
Recalibration in the safe space. I like that.
Yeah.
So, the thing that I was trying to sit here and get back on remember what I was going to say, but all right, got it. So, basically, what I've learned going back to that place, what I've learned with relationships and stuff like that is, as far as with women, is that whole thing about, like you said, the way of the superior man, it's like literally hugging. But the thing is, with inside of us, I started reflecting on myself. Making sure there's no anger in my heart. Same way I don't discipline my kids, I don't come to my girl with that. So when I am ready to hug, you know what I'm saying, no matter if it feels offensive or not, I make sure it comes from a loving place, which is a reflection of us. And I think oftentimes men say they want to be the men, but it's like it's so much that you gotta, you know what I'm saying, recalibrate yourself before you even come to recalibrate the relationship as you were speaking about too. So I always make sure within inside of myself, there's no anger, there's no ill feeling. Even if I felt that you lied, you said nothing, I'm like, all right. And that was also thankful to my sister that she sent a reminder of a video of that too. He just heard me say, shut up. Shut up. Don't say nothing. We're just gonna lay here. And at the end of the day, that's kind of how it is. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Let's just lay here. Because a lot of people got decompressed. We got jobs, we got children, we got life, got things happening. Everyone they got a coworker they don't like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? And,
Backspace, delete that.
There's men too, but at the end of the day, man, it's like all of us go through things, but I put it back on us as men. At the end of the day, I find myself, and even though I need my moments, I can't have my moments as long as everybody else. Because life requires, got 2 kids, 3 kids in the house, and got a girl and stuff like that. I don't get to get that long time. So sometimes we gotta be a little bit more quicker, so that way we can be an example of how to decompress, get through it, and now let's have a healthy conversation. And at the end of the day, man, one of the things I realized is that by the time you go and be like, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, you know what I'm saying, what's going on? They sit there eating, they like, oh, nothing. I'm like, what? Okay, well, if it's nothing to you, if it ever does come up, just know, right, we good. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always like doing it over a restaurant, somewhere public, somewhere I'm not gonna have an issue and yelling or anything like that. But it's just something calm about the music, the neutral space is not in the home. And plus, you don't want a lot of time air out your dirt in your home. Because your home is a sanctuary. It's a place where all supposed to be at peace at.
Yeah, my grandma always said, like, you'll never fight in your bedroom.
Yeah.
You need to be around still do this work. We talk about this tomorrow. This isn't work.
This moving around. This was, you know what happens here.
I'm like, let's sweat it out.
Sometimes before we take a question,
Now we
I was going to say space real quick. We talked about recalibrating the safe space. One thing I want to iterate to women is that even if you are my safe space, there's no expectation from me onto you to solve the issue that I'm bringing to my safe space. Like, you do not have to be my solution. You can be my processing space. You can be the place where I don't have to think about it at all, but it still exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you wanting to solve it for me. I appreciate you wanting to solve it for me. And I appreciate you cultivating a safe space for me. But the safe space is not the place where you are required to solve my issue. No matter what I bring in there, you're not responsible for fixing it. But I thank you for allowing me to bring it into this space.
And sometimes as men, we have to do that with women as well. Because sometimes they'll be in the mode and you like, oh, as a man, you're trying to fix it. You like, and she's like, no, I just need you to just.
The way the Spirit Man talks about that as well. Like, sometimes you just get to be a sounding board.
That's it.
Like,
I told my wife that time.
That's it.
And they're like, you know, just sometimes they just want to be heard.
I'll ask. I'll be like, am I supposed to fix it, or you just need me to ask?
There's nothing wrong with
You know
it.
what I'm saying? I just need you to just listen to me. Okay, baby.
Tell me what you got. What you got? I said that at work.
last question.
No. We have 2 more questions.
The last one is super.
Yeah, the last one's super easy. We can wrap up with this one. What are men insecure about?
That's relative.
That's very relative.
Based off of past traumas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my hairline ain't Marcus's. We're gonna have to that's very relative.
Absolutely.
Like, that's where it comes down. That's where it comes down to communication. Like, you really have to have that safe space where you can be like, all right, babe, chips on the table. Like, is there anything you're insecure about? Like, we go out and we chilling. Do you have a problem with a dude? He wants to buy us a drink just so I can be over. You want to have a problem with it?
Right.
Yeah, babe, I have a problem. Okay, cool. I won't do that.
some dudes like myself, I'd be like, hey, if he give you a drink, make sure you get another one. Say people over there. You already know exactly what let's get.
I'm running up like,
Here's what it is. Sorry, I got no problem with that. You just so happy, whatever. I already know she's gonna
Here you go.
So, that's what it is. It's the communication factor. It's all relative. It's all of it.
My God.
But yeah, that's valuable. But I will say this: some of the questions that we've encountered are really important when we talk about your connection to an individual man.
Yes.
Like that question is the question you ask your man. I know sometimes it'll be like, "What's your favorite food?" But if you want to have a meaningful relationship, these are the type of questions you guys can talk about because that gives you an understanding of who it is you're with.
right.
Mentally.
And you know the questions because you were asking us. So turn around and ask your man those same questions. You might be already so big.
They can answer that stuff. Like either y'all might not be in a point in your relationship where you can ask, or you just are dealing with somebody where where they really don't want to answer these questions with. Because you should be able to ask somebody like, I remember back in the day, like just real young, like 18, 19 years old, I really began to realize, man, every single woman that I run into and I got contact with, whether they be friends or whether I'm interested in them, they've had some kind of sexual traumatic experience. So I just started asking females, so is there anything that you've had happen to you, like rape, incest, anything like that? Damn, that's a deep ass question. Because I know how to deal with you after that.
Right now, there's moments where like men that you don't. If you're with a man who doesn't want to ask you these questions, why are you with that man? Unless you're just filling the void, right? Like
real talk.
You're filling space with this person. That's different. Because I mean, if that's all you're looking for, like, hey, we're gonna go on a couple of days, we kick in, we may smash, we may not, then it is what it is. But if you're truly interested in building something with this man, these are the comments I'm asking first date. Yeah. Like, yo, what are your insecurities? Where are you at? Why? Because I want to know. Otherwise, what's the point of the second date? What are we here for? Because, like Courtney said, which were super profound, like, I want to give you the power of choice in whether or not you want to be on this journey with me.
Yep. Choose me.
That's it. That's it. You get choice, because I'm not. It took me a long time to learn how to take the mask off. Yeah. But I go, hey, I'm Eminem, baby, here it is.
Right.
I'm asking you real deep, and girls will be like, that's a really deep question. You're freaking right. Because I done had surface.
We wasting time.
I had surface.
And then
You pretty and all, but like, what else you got?
Right.
those questions, like that one in particular, right, will go to your love language conversation. That person may not like physical touch in certain moments for that reason. And so you can give her all the physical affection in the world and still not feel love. Because that's not her love language. That doesn't feel safe. That doesn't feel, you know.
That's the very time with most women, at least I'm aware of at this point in life. Like majority of women are looking for that safe place. That's why you'll see a woman who do big, like ugly as ever, like Biggie Small said. But literally, it was big, wide, he provides that space where she's like, he's being everything else, and nobody gonna mess with him, I feel safe. That's why I'm with him. They got nothing to do with his looks, barely his money. Real talk. Money, looks, whatever. He's big and I feel safe. Like that's it.
I think even from a social perspective, like my wife is fairly introverted. Obviously I'm not. My wife feels safe in spaces like this because I'll take up this space for her. Like I will fend all the talking so that she doesn't have to interact with strangers until she's comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? So it can happen in multiple regards.
That safety can be in different areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're providing that safe space. You provide the money, you provide the combo, you provide this, that, and the thirds. You provide a safe space where she can sit there and really feel like I feel safe.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Like
probably
to your point though, it's really important for people to grasp the idea of respect, safety, loyalty, love, insecurities, pain, all of this. But it just comes from conversation. Open, honest conversation.
And a space safe enough for me to give you open and honest, and you still be there after I say it.
Right.
So that's what people are afraid
I
of.
think that security we were talking about earlier is like one of the things that I've always enjoyed about my marriage is I told my wife in the beginning, like, look, no matter what we talk about, I will still be here when this conversation is over. I'm not going nowhere. You can't say nothing that's gonna push me away from this table. So put it on the table. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like let's have that conversation. You know, any of them.
Any of
A lot of people don't, like, that's just the realness of it. Like, people don't, not necessarily say they don't want to, but they just don't have, a lot of people don't have that conversation. They don't have that, okay, just gonna be honest and open and everything. Okay, cool beans. When I was like 17, I straight up stole a whole shopping mall. What's up?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, everything's wrong, right? Oh, you know, it's still came from the store. Oh, you got 3 felonies. You told her you still came from the store. Just let her know. Like, she's sitting there. Oh, I wish you told me about that because you might find out about it later. Oh, I would have told you I was a stick-up kid. I was living in New York.
I didn't know you got 2 strikes. You know, I can't put you in a situation to give you your last one. I didn't know where you were. I didn't know where you were.
But that's so to
Like, much respect.
right in that situation. Hey babe, you got 2 strikes.
Yeah.
You like, yo,
You
thought a rider.
Hey,
But your girl's in the car. You like, yo, I'm about to. And she goes, you got 2 strikes. You'd be like,
you know what? You right.
you right. Or she's like, give me a gun.
She like, who was you?
But that goes back to, that was off camera. But the conversation we had at the last one in terms of like, you need to know like who's gonna ride for who. And a lot of the time, us are on the end of like, pause for a second, think about it before you just, before you run with it. And that's where, you know, we do come into play of like, okay, ABC, XYZ, and then you're like, okay, so then you make the decision, I'm gonna block or I'm not, because you're like, oh.
Listen, for spirit-filled people like you understand that your wife is your helper. You don't always like the way help feel. That don't mean it's not needed or accurate. You know what I'm saying? And you look back at it, you be like, yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah.
Because I was off the handle.
Yeah.
And it's about to get back.
Or say with honest conversation. Honest conversation doesn't always feel good to whoever's
Correct.
receiving it or doesn't know it.
Yeah.
But you can't get better if you don't sit down and say, hey, you know what? I didn't really like you for the last 2 weeks. Like, let's talk about that. Like,
How do you feel? Your irritability's real loud. You better tone down here.
last one to
Last question.
one word. One word.
I'm out.
One word. Okay, so how to describe manhood in one word, okay. Listen, I practiced it multiple times. One. I didn't ask it. I think that question is cute.
I'm gonna say strength.
Strength, courage, and wisdom.
Yeah, shoot out, B. I was trying to
You
go
have
first.
so many multiple layers. Like, oh, I would you do.
Well, we're talking about manhood, not onions right now. So strength,
Service.
service,
Leadership.
leadership,
Extra.
protection,
For me, I would say obedience.
To the Lord.
suppress.
Exactly.
I
Nope.
One word.
Everybody gets interpreted how they want. If somebody out there confused in the mind, let it go. That's one word.
I was trying to think the therapist we wanted to clean it up, but I was like,
Nope. One.
They took
where's
it.
the therapist?
See,
Somebody up there ain't
The people that-
today, man.
No.
Said that word.
right.
Hey, you just got
And it was a complete process through my head too. And I was like, yep, I'm showing up on Sunday.
I'm trying to figure out how to get servant leadership all in one word.
I knew somebody was going
On that note, I just want to say how proud I am of you guys because you made it through almost the whole jar.
Rolling.
Good job. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Subscribe so you don't miss next week's video.
And I was like, shit, look, best thing I could do is get my body right, because literally in the inside, I feel like nothing. I feel like nothing's going right. And I think the great part about that was, once again, not